Hi, this is Catherine with BoardGameGeek. I am joined here by Alan from Surprise Stare Games, and he's here to talk to us about the March of Progress. So please, Alan, will you tell us about this game?
Yes, the March of Progress it's a card game. It's a strategic card game, and what we've done here is to boil down strategy to the absolute critical essence of it. And what we've done is we've provided a bunch of scenarios from the 30 Years' War all the way through to World War II in a relatively small package. The main part, this is set up for the introduction, 30 Years' War scenario. It's a fairly abstract scenario. Let's look at the hand of cards, which is the pile here. These are your actions that you can do, and the action, there's only eight of these. The actions are things like you can move either one army, or you can move two armies, or you can recruit more troops, or you can fortify them, or of course you can attack your enemy. The basic structure of a turn is that both players have the same cards. One's a set of blue, one's a set of red. The basic structure of a turn is you pick one of your cards to play and put it face down in front of you. When both have selected, you both turn up simultaneously and you carry out the action. And there's a specified order in which the actions are carried out. The actual maneuver space of your armies, you only have 3 armies. The maneuver space of your armies is a home country card, which is this one here, the orange home country card. Then there's a neutral country just north of the home country, and there's a blue home country card as well. So you've only got 3 spaces that you can maneuver in with your armies, and you only have a limited number of armies, only up to 3. Each of your armies has got a strength indicated by the dice on the card. There's a 1. The 1 dice on the right is the current strength of the army. The 3 dice on the left is the amount of victory points that your home country will generate. And similarly, in the middle country card, the neutral country generates 2 victory points to start with. Now, in this game, you win if you get a certain number of victory points. It's 18 victory points. If you get 18 victory points, then you win. One of the cards that you can use here is a scorecard. When you play the scorecard, you will score the victory points indicated by the countries that you control, and you also get an automatic 1 victory point. So, for example, in this particular case now, if we played the scorecard at this point, we would score 1 point plus 3 because we control our home country. So we get 4 points. Well on the way to getting 18. However, my opponent will obviously try and stop me from doing this. We haven't really got time to play, but I'll just explain. Now, the neutral country generates 2 victory points. So ideally what you want to do in this scenario is to try to control the neutral country, or at very least prevent your opponent from controlling. So what you will do is you will move your army in there probably, and you'll recruit more armies to increase your strength. And eventually it will come to blows. And when you play the attack card, a battle will happen in one of the countries where there are 2 enemies. And the combat is very, very straightforward. You simply add up the total strength of each set of armies on each side, and the winner is the one with the highest number of points. So, for example, if you had in this case, one orange army against one blue army, they're both 1 strength, so it will be equal. If it's equal, everybody dies. Both armies should be removed. If it was 2 orange armies against a blue army, orange wins, and the blue army is removed, and no orange armies are lost. That's very straightforward. However, you have the option as one of your actions to increase the strength of all your armies. Can we show the strength card? The strength card. If you play the strength card, you can reduce the victory point total of in order to increase by 1 all the armies in your possession. So there's a big timing issue here. How much effort do I spend on strengthening my armies as opposed to moving them and attacking with them? And that's quite key. Now, that's the basics of the introductory game. What what we've actually done here, and there's a little bit more to it, I won't really go into the heavy detail, but what we've done with this, if we look at World War II, if we look at the World War II cards, we have varied the rules for each of the periods that we're dealing with, Napoleonics and World War One and World War II and the Age of Marlborough. We varied the rules to give a flavour of the particular nuances of strategy at the time. So if we look at the World War II card, the back part of the setup for World War II, that will be useful because that will show us the rule, just a couple of rule changes which we can indicate. There we go. Oh, right, the victory functions, yes. I only put the victory functions on there, on the actual rules, didn't I? World War II is a two-part scenario. It's the biggest scenario. The Germans have to win both parts of the scenario in order to win, whereas the Western Allies player only has to win wins by taking the German capital at the end of any turn. As you'd expect with a World War II scenario, the Germans have a Blitzkrieg card. Their attack card is changed so that instead of getting a normal attack, they gain an extra 2 combat strength for that battle if they discard a move card. Similarly, in the second half of this particular scenario, the Allies can spend victory points to increase their combat strength with air power. And here we have a couple of other variants that you can use for this scenario. You can make it more realistically difficult for the Germans by increasing the victory point total they need to 20 points rather than 15 points. And also, we've got a variant which allows each country to increase their home country's VP dice when they score, which isn't normally something we allow. So that gives you much more of an idea that there's a lot of logistics and supply which is important in the game. So what we've done with the March of Progress is to give a basic abstract game, but then we vary it for each of the scenarios to give you a feeling of the strategic difficulties of each particular era that we're dealing with. Okay, and that's it. That's our very quick run through of the March of Progress. I wanted to give you the idea here is that you've got several different scenarios here, and you can play around with the changes in the rules, tweaks in the rules. Give you that.
Yeah. I'm filling in for the last little bit here. Thank you, Alan, so much for joining us today. Can you just tell us where we can find
Yeah, the March of Progress is where you can purchase the game, or
yes, it's available today, and you can get this today.
You can get this. You can get both the Ming Voyages and the March of Progress, part of our Pocket Campaigns series. From it's available in retail from now. We actually had a Kickstarter in March, which was successful, and we had the delivery in July. So things have even reached the United States now. So yeah, it should be readily available.
Oh, you muted, Steph. We lost sound on you.
Oh my goodness. We will definitely be on the lookout for the March of Progress and the Ming Voyages. So if you guys are interested in the games that Alan got to demonstrate today, you should definitely go check out those 2 titles from Surprised Stare Games.
Yeah, if you would like a whole playthrough, Paul Grogan has done playthroughs of both the games, including the Solitaire Ming Voyages, and they're available on BoardGameGeek, as it happens.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alan.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, then.